Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown results. 205 Live results from the week of June 19th and possibly 26th. As I got birthdays for 26, J.J. Dillon was born 1942, Mark Jindrak born 1977, Matt Striker born 1974, all on June 26th. Jesse White, son of Leon Big Van Vader, revealed on Twitter this morning that his father passed away on Monday night at 7:25 p.m. He was 63 years old. White had been battling heart issues for the past couple of years. In November 2016, White revealed on Twitter that he was diagnosed with congestive heart failure due to his football and wrestling careers. He said that he had visited two heart doctors who told him that he only had 2 years left to live. White underwent open heart surgery in late March, had another operation in May. Jesse said that Leon, his dad, was diagnosed with severe case of pneumonia last month. He said that while his father fought hard and was making progress, on Monday night his heart had enough and it was his time. My condolences to his friends and family. Rich Swann has made his debut at the Impact tapings in Windsor earlier this month. Impact also announced that tonight he will be making his Impact debut next week. The former WWE Cruiserweight champion mutually parted ways from the WWE in February after an incident with his wife and current Knockout champion Su Yung. At Impact Wrestling, breaking next week, Gotta Get Swann makes his Impact debut as we emanate from at St. Clair College in Windsor. Also debuting next week will be the new tag team, Desi Hit Squad. Jacinder Singh and Rohit Raju with their manager, Gama Singh. At Impact Wrestling next week, the Desi Hit Squad makes their much anticipated Impact debut. Gama Singh will lead his Indian proteges into action. Cody Rhodes' personal YouTube account describing actions, how it's hard to make your own event and show, can be found in this link, as he has his own pay-per-view coming up. I think it's called Get In or Are You In or something like that. Dark match before the NXT tapings in Full Sail University saw Fabian Aichner defeat Raul Mendoza. Day 1 UK tournament. Thanks to Beatrice and Caleb Connor for the following WWE UK tournament spoilers from today's taping at Royal Albert Hall in London, England. These will air on June 25th and June 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the WWE Network. Spoilers from day 1. Here they are. The special intro for night 2 aired. The WWE NXT UK Champion Special. Tyler Bate and Trent Seven defeated Kyle O'Reilly and Roger Strong to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. There was a huge celebration after the match. Charlie Morgan defeated Killer Kelly. Christian was shown in the crowd. Noam Dar defeated Flash Morgan Webster. Travis Banks and Mark Andrews in a fatal 4-way to become the new number 1 contender to the WWE UK title. This started out as a triple threat, but WWE UK General Manager Johnny Saint came out and made it a fatal 4-way. Adding Dar to the match, after the match, Joe Coffey and Mark Coffey hit the ring and laid everyone out, except for Dar. NXT North American Champion Adam Cole retained over Wolfgang. Cole was really over, but Scottish star Wolfgang was not. NXT Champion Aleister Black and Ricochet defeated EC3 and the Velveteen Dream, where Dream walked away from the match. Selling an ankle or leg injury, Black hit Black Mass on EC3 for the win. NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler retained over Toni Storm by count out. After the match, Baszler attacked Storm and applied the curfew to clutch. WWE UK Champion Pete Dunne retained over Zach Gibson in the main event. The show closed with Triple H, Dunne, GM Johnny Saint, NXT Superstars, and the entire UK roster standing in the ring as he spoke to the crowd. They were airing promos for the UK November tour, and Roman Reigns was heavily booed. UK title tournament quarterfinals, Zach Gibson defeated Jack Gallagher. Another tournament quarterfinals, Joe Coffey defeated Dave Mastiff. Kathy Kelly interviewed Coffey after the match, and he promised to win the UK title by any means necessary. Another title tournament quarterfinal, Flash Morgan Webster defeated Jordan Devlin. Another tournament quarterfinal, Travis Banks defeated Ashton Smith. Jenny versus Killer Kelly versus Tony Storm versus Isla Dawn to determine who faces NXT Women's Champion. Shayna Baszler was for tomorrow. Saving. The match restarted as triple threat after Jenny goes down off a bad dive. She's helped to the back. Triple H came down during the break to announce the UK brand. We'll have details on the site soon. Storm gets a pin on Dawn and then has a stare down with Baszler. UK title tournament semifinals, Zach Gibson defeated Flash Morgan Webster. Aleister Black and Ricochet are shown at ringside. UK title tournament semifinal, Travis Banks defeated Joe Coffey. Coffey destroyed Banks after the match. UK champion Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven defeated the Undisputed Era of North American champion Adam Cole, NXT champions Roger Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. When Bate pinned O'Reilly, Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels came out to put over the UK wrestlers and the fans. UK title tournament finals, Zach Gibson defeated Travis Banks. Gibson will now face UK champion Pete Dunne on Tuesday. Face Bate and Seven versus Strong and O'Reilly was also announced for the tapings for tomorrow. Show winner will be HBK, Triple H, and UK General Manager Johnny Saint. And Gibson posting in the ring after a Gibson-Dunne face-off. All right, thanks to Beatrice and Caleb Connor for the following UK title tournament. Spoilers from the next day at Royal Albert Hall in London, England. These also air on June 25th and 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the WWE Network. Special intro for night 2 aired the WWE NXT UK Championship Special. Tyler Bate and Trent Seven defeated Kyle O'Reilly and Roger Strong to become the new tag team champions. Huge celebration after the match. Charlie Morgan defeated Killer Kelly. I think I got this twice. These are the same results. I do apologize. Sin Cara was set to return from a shoulder injury on WWE SmackDown for the match with Andre Cien Almas, but it did not happen. And there was a video of a furious Almas ranting on Sin Cara after the match. Zelina Vega mocked Sin Cara and wondered what the excuse is this week. Vega says Cara will have to face Almas sooner than later, as Almas will show why he doesn't need any friends because he has future of SmackDown. Jason Jordan was pulled from the action due to a neck injury at an awful time for him. Jordan had recently won the Raw Tag Team Champions with Seth Rollins, making JJ the first to hold an NXT, SmackDown, and Raw Tag Team title. This title run was an answer to Dean Ambrose's injury, which is still keeping him out of action as his rehabilitates a torn right tricep. However, it would appear Jason Jordan's injury is less severe than the one suffered by the Lunatic Friends. Jordan's wife took to social media on February 5th, shortly after her husband's injury, to dispel rumors about Jordan's condition when she sent out an Instagram message saying, "I will address this once. Yes, Jason Jordan is injured. I assure you everything you have seen online is fake news. He has a minor neck injury and will be back in no time. Although I am very excited to have him home for a bit, I promise I will help guide him to a speedy recovery. Thank you everyone who reached out to check on him. He is very positive and already planning his comeback. In the meantime, just please keep sending Nathan and I good vibes." So his real name Nathan Jordan. It took a little bit more time than Jason Jordan's wife first stated, but it appears Jason Jordan is very close to making a return. Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that former American Alpha member is now tentatively scheduled to be back in July. Luckily, Jason Jordan's surgery went well. Kurt Angle's big reveal last year that Jason Jordan was his illegitimate son was met with plenty of disdain from WWE Universe, which turned Jason into the direction of being a heel. Only time will tell how WWE plans on addressing this angle upon Jordan's return. This is still great timing for Jason Jordan because a July return could mean he has time to rebuild towards a SummerSlam match. 205 Live coverage of Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy versus Hideo Itami. NXT superstar Lio Rush will make his main roster in-ring debut on next Tuesday's 205 Live episode. Also announced on the show, noted earlier how WWE did an angle on Friday at the Performance Center that saw Rush sign his 205 Live contract with general manager Drake Maverick, and Rush tweeted the following on his debut. Man of the hour, it's Lio Rush. Biggest acquisition in 205 history. No surprise there. Of course, I am. You guys are lucky. Sometimes I wish that I was a fan so that I can witness that you are all going to witness. Cali vibes for the hashtag Man of the Hour. It is time. Comments again, Man of the Hour. It's Lio Rush. Let the final countdown begin at 205 Live next week. It's Lio Rush will be the hashtag Man of the Hour when he makes his hashtag 205 Live debut. Only on the award-winning at WWE Network. World Heavyweight Champion David Arquette. I should say WCW World Heavyweight Champion David Arquette announced that he was making his return to pro wrestling as David the Magic Man Arquette. Arquette hit the ring for a run-in at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and can be seen in this link. WWE is now hiring on-air digital talents to serve as the face and voice for WWE Digital and social on-air and in-platform. They're specifically looking for Hindi-speaking talents working out of Mumbai. India and Spanish-speaking talents to work out of Mexico City. You can find details on the job at WWE Careers website. New WWE Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler took to Twitter and noted that he and Drew McIntyre plan on adding 3 more titles to their alliance. Ziggler tweeted at Heel Ziggler, only thing I said, as a fan fiction, you're all tweeting for hashtag Raw next week. We will be the look on your faces. Will be the look on your faces when we add 3 more titles to our alliance? I can't wait to be even richer. At DM McIntyre, I know everyone has been waiting to see what controversial truth bombs we will drop next week. All I have to say is this. Do we have your undivided attention now? Hashtag burn it down. Hashtag Raw. WWE SmackDown opens up with a video package. Video of SmackDown General Manager Paige. She talks about the blue brand matches for Money in the Bank and tonight's gauntlet match to determine Extreme Rules opponent for WWE Champion AJ Styles. We're live from Toledo, Ohio, as Tom Phillips welcomes us. And he's chimed in by tattoo artistry, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxon. We go right to the ring. Out comes SmackDown Women's Champion, Carmella, as Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions. Carmella talks about how she had self-esteem issues when she was younger, but she was determined not to let them keep her down. She saw something in herself before anyone else could, and she became a champion. What she's trying to say is she wants every boy and girl out there who doesn't feel good enough to look in the mirror and repeat these words. Mella is money. Fans boo as Carmella psychs the crowd. She says she never had self-confidence issues. Yeah, right. The real lesson here is to just give up, she says. Carmella says everyone else can work twice as hard as her, but they will still only be half as good. She brags on cashing in her Money in the Bank to become the champion and reminds us how she beat Charlotte Flair twice. Carmella says she did the unthinkable at Money in the Bank on Sunday, beat Asuka. Carmella goes on and brags about how she beat Asuka and did it all by herself. No mention of James Ellsworth yet. Music interrupts and out comes Asuka to a pop. She gets closer to the ring and we realize it's not really Asuka. The fake Asuka enters the ring and it is revealed to be Ellsworth. They laugh together. Ellsworth says no one was ready for him, especially Asuka. Ellsworth tells the crowd to shut their traps because He has something special to say to his princess. He messes up a line about loving someone and says that that doesn't matter because what's important is he's back and he's here to serve Carmella. He says she's better than everyone, better than Flair. WWE Hall of Famers Lita and Trish Stratus, Mother Teresa, Beyonce, Ronda Rousey, and last but not least, certainly not least, she's better than Asuka. Music hits again, out comes the real Empress of Tomorrow. Asuka rushes the ring, running her mouth, as Ellsworth takes off his Asuka robe, as Carmella looks like she's ready to retreat. Ellsworth steps to Asuka, and she drops him with a kick. Carmella drops Asuka with a kick. Carmella pushes Ellsworth out of the ring, and they leave together as fans boo. Carmella backs up the ramp with Ellsworth, raising the title and taunting Asuka. Asuka looks on from the mat and laughs as Carmella's music hits. Then we go to replays. So to come segment, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson get another title shot from the Bludgeon Brothers. We see Becky Lynch backstage getting ready for her match against Billie Kay. Then we go back to commercial. Billie Kay versus Becky Lynch. Back from the break. Out comes the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. They enter the ring and diss the people of Toledo. Then they run Becky Lynch down. Music hits. Next comes Becky to a pop. Becky immediately tackles Billie, and the bell rings and goes to work. Becky keeps control and hits the exploder suplex. Billie ends up turning it around and sending Becky face first into a ring post. Then we go to commercial with Becky down on the floor. Back from the break, Billie has Becky grounded in the middle of the ring as Peyton cheers her on. Becky fights up and out. Becky slides out of a slam and nails a big rolling forearm to the chest. Billie with a boot against the ropes. Peyton decks Becky with a cheap shot as the referee is distracted by Billie. Becky still kicks out at 2 as Peyton throws a fit at ringside. Becky rams Billie back in the corner to get her off her back. Becky tosses Billie to the mat and kicks her. Becky goes to the second rope and leaps out of Billie, taking her back down. Becky with a clothesline and a heel kick now. Becky was more offense and a big exploder suplex for a close 2 count. Becky then fights Billie off again and goes to the top. Becky has to stop and kick Peyton off the apron, but she still manages to counter Billie and send her out to the floor. Becky then leaps from the apron, takes Peyton out on the floor as the fans pop. Billie goes for the suplex back in the ring, but Becky rolls her up. Becky goes into the disarmer, and Billie taps for the finish. After the match, Becky celebrates as the music hits as we go to replays. We get a look at last week's match between Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura. We'll cut backstage to the WWE US Champion now. He says Shinsuke Nakamura failed to win the WWE title at Money in the Bank, and AJ Styles has moved on. Jeff has a memory in his head that won't allow him to move on. He goes into crazy detail about the knee to the face from Nakamura last week, saying it shattered his soul. Jeff says the knee had unintended consequences as it didn't put him down. It made him sharper focus. Jeff says his eyes were closed before, but now they are open. He says this as he turns around to reveal new face paint and white eyes. Jeff tells Nakamura, I see you. So to come number 1 contenders gauntlet match. The announcers hype Sanity ahead of their TV debut on SmackDown. As Tom says the madness is here. The shadows of Sanity appear on the big screen. Eric Young says the chaos has arrived as they walk off. Graves hypes the Usos versus Sanity as we go back to commercial. Back from the break, announcers hyping the WWE Super Showdown in Australia. Renee Young's backstage with Daniel Bryan. She reveals he's entering the gauntlet match first and asks how he will survive. Bryan says he's not going to survive. He's going to win. He gives props to Rusev, Big E, and Samoa Joe, but takes a shot at The Miz. He goes on about how he will win, and then asks Renee if he can ask her a question. He asks if she thinks that he's ready to take on the biggest and baddest superstars of WWE. He has to ask her again and says yes this time. This leads to Bryan leaving with a yes Borgasm chant going. Sanity versus Usos. We go to ring. Out first comes the Usos, hitting the ring with mics as fans chant their name. Jey Uso says it looks like we have a new tag team that wants to make a name for themselves. Jimmy Uso chimes in and says, you have to show your heart, be 100%, and have a few screws loose to make it, which the Usos have done. They welcome Sanity to the Uso Penitentiary and motion for them to bring it. Lights go out and the music hits as out comes Sanity. Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf. It looks like Wolf tried to attack, but the Usos, while the entrance is still going. A brawl breaks out before the bell can even ring. Sanity destroys the Usos. Young makes Jay watch as Dane smashes Jimmy. Wolf and Young double team Jay out of the corner. Sanity stands tall over the Usos as the music starts back up. So to come segment, Gallows and Anderson versus Harper and Rowan. With the titles on the line, we go backstage. We see the Good Brothers warming up for tonight's title shot. We cut to the Bludgeon Brothers. Next, they turn to stare at the camera as we go back to commercial. The Good Brothers are called the Club. We see the stills from Shinsuke Nakamura's last man standing match lost to AJ Champions at Money in the Bank. Renee Young's backstage with Styles now. He says he didn't lose because he's still standing here now and blames the referee for a bad count. Regarding the earlier comments from Jeff Hardy, Nakamura says Jeff's eyes may be open now, but he will close them if Hardy crosses him again. SmackDown Tag Team title match. The Club versus Bludgeon Brothers. We go to the ring. Out first comes Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson with this rematch from Money in the Bank kickoff. SmackDown Tag Team Champions and Bludgeon Brothers are out next. We go to commercial. Back from the commercial, Gallows is going at it with Rowan. Harper comes in, but gets sent to the floor. Anderson leaves out onto him, but Harper sends him into the side of the ring. Rowan floors Gallows in the ring. Rowan places Gallows on the top, works him over. Rowan climbs up for a superplex, but Gallows resists. Rowan fights him and nails a superplex for a 2 count as Anderson breaks up the pinfall. Harper then sends Anderson to the floor. Rowan and Harper follow, double teaming Anderson and slamming him into the apron. Rowan returns to the ring and smashes Gallows for a 2 count. Harper and Rowan keep control of Gallows with frequent tags. Rowan keeps Gallows grounded in the middle of the ring. Gallows tries to turn it around, but Rowan clubs him back down. Harper tags in for some more double teaming in the corner. Gallows finally knocks Rowan off the apron with a big boot. Gallows turns and goes at it with Harper. Gallows avoids a power bomb and drops Harper with a kick. Anderson finally returns to the apron and waits for a tag. Anderson gets a tag and comes off the top with a crossbody on Harper. Anderson with a spine buster on Harper for a close 2 count. Rowan comes in and catches Anderson, but he slides out. Anderson sends Rowan to the floor, but turns around to a big side slam from Harper for a 2 count. Gallows pulls Rowan off the apron, but Rowan sends him over into the timekeeper's area. Anderson rolls Harper up for a 2 count. Rowan tags in and double team Anderson for the pinfall. Winners of the match, Bludgeon Brothers. After the match, Rowan and Harper raise the titles as the music hits. And then Rowan and Harper are making their exit as the music hits. Out comes Daniel Bryan for the main event. Bryan comes out doing the yes orgasm chant, but stops between Rowan and Harper on the ramp. They all trade looks for a minute. Bryan's music starts back up as he continues heading to the ring while doing the chant. We see the Miz backstage warming up for the main event. Rusev and Aiden English are shown backstage getting ready. Samoa Joe is shown next. Then the New Day. We go to commercial. Gauntlet match to crown new number 1 contender, Daniel Bryan, Big E, Rusev, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. Back from the ring, out comes the New Day for this main event. Big E was Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Big E hits to the ring alone as Daniel Bryan waits in the corner. Bell rings and they lock up. Big E overpowers early on. They lock up in a test of strength, and Big E gets Bryan down. As they go back and forth, Big E runs the ropes, but Bryan eventually takes him down. Bryan with a Dragon Sleeper now in the middle of the ring. Big E breaks free, and it looks to get the upper hand, but Bryan responds with strikes. Big E fights back, but Bryan delivers knees on the mat. Big E ends up overpowering Bryan again and tossing him. Big E has Bryan positioned on the apron now. He nails a big splash on the apron, and Bryan falls to the floor. We go to commercial. Back for the break. Bryan goes for the top rope headbutt, but Big E moves and he lands hard. Big E covers for a 2 count. Bryan fights out of a rack in the middle of the ring and delivers a clothesline stun to Big E in the corner. Bryan with a yes orgasm kicks in the corner. Bryan takes Big E to the top and brings him crashing down with a Hurricanrana. Bryan with a corner drop kick and then another. Bryan goes for a third drop kick, but Big E flattens him with a clothesline. Big E with a big backbreaker for a close 2 count. As Big E has control and applies the stretch muffler submission, Bryan eventually tries to turn that into the yes lock, but Big E resists. Bryan goes for a triangle now. Big E powers up. Bryan counters again. More back and forth on the mat as Big E avoids the heel hook as well. Big E works Bryan over in the corner now. Bryan gets tossed to the apron. Big E charges and spears Bryan from the apron to the floor, and then both land hard on the floor. Big E then brings Bryan back in the ring, waits for him. As Big E goes for the big ending, but Bryan slides out. Big E runs into the steel ring post as Bryan moves out of the way. Bryan comes in with a big knee strike for the pinfall. Bryan advances as Big E has been eliminated. Samoa Joe marches to the ring next as Bryan tries to recover on the mat. We go to commercial. Back from the break, Joe is chopping Bryan in the corner. Joe keeps control as we see AJ Styles watching the match. Bryan fights back with strikes and unloads on Joe. Bryan charges, but Joe catches him with a big power slam for a 2 count. Joe with more strikes to keep Bryan down. Joe drops Bryan again with the referee checking on him. Joe with a headbutt while Bryan is on his knees. Bryan slides out of a move and fights back with more strikes. Joe catches Bryan with a power bomb for a 2 count, which transitions right into a modified Boston Crab in the middle of the ring. Joe turns that into an STF. Bryan crawls for the bottom rope, but Joe pulls the arm back. Bryan gets his foot on the bottom rope, and the hold is broken. Bryan catches a kick and hits the dragon screw leg whip. Bryan slams Joe's knee into the ring post now. Bryan continues focusing on the knee. He comes back in, but Joe hits an inverted atomic drop and a big boot. Joe with a senton for another close 2 count. Back to commercial. Back for the break, Joe trades shots with Bryan in the middle of the ring. Joe catches Bryan with a sleeper hold. Joe falls out to the floor to buy some time. Bryan runs the apron and delivers a knee to Joe on the floor. Bryan brings him back in the ring and nails a missile drop kick. Fans rally for Bryan, but as he delivers the yes kick to Joe, Joe blocks the last kick, but Bryan hits an enziguri. Bryan leads another chant in the corner now. Joe ducks a flying knee and rolls to the floor as fans move for another breather. Bryan runs the ropes and slides out, but Joe applies the coquille clutch on the floor. Bryan starts to fade on the floor as the referee counts. Bryan breaks free and runs back in the ring, just making it in time. Joe is counted out and is eliminated. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Bludgeon Brothers, suddenly enter the ring and drive Bryan to the mat with their double team move. Fans boo as they exit the ring. Music hits, and out next comes Miz. Miz runs into the ring, hits the Total Crushing finale on Bryan, and Miz covers for the pin, and Bryan has been eliminated. Miz tosses him out to the floor. Miz waits and runs his mouth as an official checks on Bryan on the floor. Rusev marches to the ring with Aiden English, talking him up right beside him. We go back to commercial, back for the break. Rusev drops Miz for a 2 count. Then working Miz over in the corner. Now as English looks on from ringside. Miz with a jawbreaker. Miz with a corner clothesline, but Rusev catches him. Rusev with a fallaway slam for another 2 count. We see Styles backstage watching the match. Miz drop kicks Rusev through the ropes now and knocks him on the floor. Fan chant for Rusev Day as English talks trash on the outside. Miz says Rusev into the barrier and then brings it back in the ring. For more offense in a 2 count, Miz keeps Rusev grounded in the middle ring now. Rusev floors Miz with a big kick and then another. Rusev charges in the corner with a shot to the gut and then hits the spin kick off the ropes. Miz blocks the Machka kick and goes for the crushing finale. But Rusev resists and overpowers him, ramming him back into the corner. Rusev runs into a kick, but Miz runs into the big kick. Rusev covers for another 2 count. Miz goes to the floor for a breather, but Rusev follows him and brings it back in. Miz takes control and brings Rusev out, sending him into the steel ring steps. Miz brings Rusev right back into the ring and gets a 2 count. Miz then delivers the it kicks. While Rusev is on his knees, fans chant no at him. Rusev ducks the last kick and goes for an accolade, but Miz blocks it and hits the DDT for another close 2 count. Miz stalks Rusev, slowly gets up now. Fan chant for Rusev as he also works to get up. Miz mocks the yes chants, but fans chant no in response. Rusev hits the monster kick and applies the accolade in the middle of the ring, and Miz taps for the finish. Winner and new number 1 contender, Rusev, to face AJ Styles at Extreme Rules. Music hits and English enters the ring to celebrate with Rusev. AJ Styles music interrupts as the WWE Champion comes out to the ring and looks Rusev on. AJ enters the ring and lays the title down between them. They stare each other down. AJ offers his hand and they shake. English walks over and says something to AJ before extending his hand. English disrespects him and pulls his hand back. AJ drops English right in front of Rusev. AJ then grabs the title and leaves as the music starts back up. Rusev turns to English as he holds his mouth. SmackDown goes off the air with AJ making his exit. 205 Live kicks off this week with video highlights from Hideo Itami, spoiling the Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy match 2 weeks ago. It continued with footage from last week of both Ali and Murphy looking for a match against Itami. General Manager Jake Maverick considers Ali's request for a triple threat match between all three men and agrees accordingly. Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness working on the WWE UK special tapings in London. Tom Phillips joins Porcy Watson on commentary. Drew Gulak versus Les Dorado as Drew Gulak comes to the ring with only Brian Kendrick. Jack Gallagher also fulfilling duties in the UK. Footage from last week's defeat to Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Les Dorado was shown. Lucha House Party are in playful mood tonight during their entrance, bringing a mascot pinata called Penelope Gulak to the ring. Drew's face plastered on it on the front. The match is underway and Gulak wins the first lockup with a head scissor takedown. This sets the scene for the early portions of the match as Gulak displays his technical prowess, regularly thwarting Dorado's luchador-inspired reversals. Interestingly, Dorado's first proper foothold in the match comes in the form of an arm drag to Gulak. Dorado takes Gulak's hand and dances up the turnbuckle, but Gulak trips him. Gulak looks to punish the shaking Dorado down now. In the adjacent corner, Dorado fights back and lays punches into Gulak's body. Body blow, body blow. Remember the old Mike Tyson game? But Gulak pulls him out through the bottom rope by the tights. Dorado suffering an awkward landing. With Penelope in peripheral vision on the commentary table, Gulak's anger intensifies as his aggression back inside the ring falls onto Dorado. Before more damaging offense can be mustered, the two men's heads collide. Double headbutt, flooring them both. Dorado gains the upper hand, once composed, with clotheslines and a drop kick. He seems to have Gulak's number, as it is now turned to block any successful counters from Gulak. The offense escalates to the point of Dorado delivering a handstand springboard stunner. Golden rewind, I think what the move's called. The impact of the move sends Gulak flying close to the side of the ring outside. Brian Kendrick capitalizes on this and puts his associate's leg on the rope during a pin attempt. The referee missed it, which outraged Metalik and Kalisto on the opposite side of the ring. They made their way towards Kendrick, only to be motioned back by the referee. Once again, Kendrick takes advantage of the referee's blindside and punches Dorado. Luchador staggers back from the ropes, falls into a waiting Gulak who applies a gulak. The referee turns around in time to see Dorado frantically tap out, giving Gulak the win. Gulak and Kendrick trash talk the Lucha House Party as they make their way up the ramp. Winner of the match, Drew Gulak. Drake Maverick is backstage asking the referee for tonight's triple threat main event match to ensure that there is a definite winner. The referee walks away. Maverick turns to address Hideo Itami. Maverick tells Itami that if he has a problem, to be professional and come to him. Itami agrees, but only if Maverick shows him respect. Maverick brushes the remark off, suggesting that Itami make the best of his opportunity tonight and prove that he belongs in the Cruiserweight Championship scene. Before the next match, Buddy Murphy is seen sharing smug smiles with his training partner, Tony Nese, backstage. TJP versus Palbert. TJP makes his way to the ring with a microphone in hand. He slowly descends the ramp, bemoaning that his talent is wasted for another week. TJP claims he's not asking for much, just more higher profile matches. Instead, he's given the competitor in the ring. TJP asks him to introduce himself and cuts him off, referring to the title Palbert. TJP continues to mock Palbert, who retaliates with a swift strike to the face, which infuriates TJP, who takes out Palbert's knee and locks in his inverted knee bar. Palbert screams for mercy and taps out. TJ shouts that he deserves better and makes his way back up the ramp as the match never officially gets underway. Extra footage of Mustafa Ali's warming up with Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander backstage. Phillips and Watson introduced steals of the newest addition to 205 Live, Leo Rush. Seen signing a contract with Jake Maverick, Phillips announces that Rush will make his debut next week. Watson continues by announcing a 6-man tag team elimination match For the same episode, Lucha House Party versus Drew Gulak, Brian Kendrick, and Jack Gallagher. Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy versus Hideo Itami. Threatening glances and taunts are shared between the three men as they separately make their way to the ring. They circle each other, unsure how to proceed. However, with Itami being the disruptive factor, Ali and Murphy chose him as their first victim. With Itami smartly backing away outside the ring, Murphy advances with the two begin to scuffle, but Ali surprises them both with a somersault from the turnbuckle. Ali then throws Itami back inside the ring and peppers him with punches, but is pulled away by Murphy, who lays kicks into Itami. Ali and Murphy's desire to exact revenge on Itami sees them fight each other now. Ali looks to run the ropes and vault outside to Murphy, but is stopped dead by Itami knee to the torso. The Japanese star has Ali in a chin lock, shouting for respect. He is wily enough to kick a returning Murphy off the apron and continues to punish Ali. With his back turned, however, Murphy sneaks up. Murphy and Itami exchange snapmare and back kick sequences, both showing equal tolerance of pain. As Itami gains the upper hand, Ali lays Itami out with a backbreaker. But Murphy comes in on Ali with a similar move. All three men are nursing their backs now. Ali surprises Murphy with a roll-up pin. But Murphy kicks out and locks Ali in a sleeper hold in an attempt to slow him down. Ali slips from Murphy's grip as Itami applies the same move to Murphy. The three men are showing early signs of exhaustion due to the significantly physical battle so far. Ali is the first to show signs of a second win, taking out Murphy with a reverse Rana and a tornado DDT. He attempts the 450 on Itami, but Itami swipes Ali's legs. Itami looks for a back superplex, but Murphy dislodges Itami from Ali. Looking for a powerbomb, Ali backflips away from the tangle, and Murphy delivers a super kick to both Ali and Itami on either side of him, earning a near fall. Clubbing forearms are thrown to whoever is closest to each wrestler, concluding an impressive sequence of spinning back fists and knee strikes. Ali is the last man standing with a super kick to Murphy. He attempts a moonsault crossbody on Itami, but receives a drop kick to the face instead. All competitors are now slowly writhing around on the floor like snakes and worms. Murphy powerbombs Itami, who kicks out, but the momentum spins him into a knee strike from Murphy. Ali then lands on another super kick on Murphy, who lands on top of Itami. Ali climbs the turnbuckle. He has crushed both men with the 450 splash. Ali pins Itami, but is pulled off and out of the ring by Murphy. Murphy throws Ali into the announce table and weighs up his options. He clears the table and drags Ali over, but Ali sweeps Murphy's leg, upending the Australian. Ali catches himself, leaps onto the table, takes out Murphy with a devastating Spanish fly onto the floor. Ali then crawls back inside the ring, but the refreshed Itami levels Ali with a hesitation drop kick out of nowhere. Itami pounds the mat in frustration because he couldn't get the pinfall. He tries to expose the bottom turnbuckle while the referee wasn't looking, but Ali rolls him up for a pin. Itami kicked out, the momentum throwing Ali into the corner. Itami finishes Ali off with another hesitation drop kick onto the partially bare buckle. He took Ali's leg for the victorious pin. 205 Live goes off the air with Murphy and Ali cradling their battered bodies. Itami parading the ring in a mocking manner, crying out for respect once again. Dark match main event after 205 Live and SmackDown tapings in Toledo, Ohio saw U.S. champion Jeff Hardy retain over The Miz. And that concludes my 205 Live and SmackDown taping results for this week. Thanks again. See you, one of you. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.